forward to Fridays. Yes, I do know Friday looks like a Monday, a Tuesday looks like a Saturday. What's the big deal? Well, I'm still happy to be alive. And for me, it's still a Friday. I still look forward to the weekend. Weekend is family time, and for this weekend, we're planning on having a barbecue. So I'm looking forward to good food, good company, and I cannot wait to hear how you spend your weekend. Thank you for joining me. This is Cocktails and Suitcases. I hope you have your drinks ready for this week's cocktail. This is a birthday cake cocktail. Well, this week my best friend of 19 years and my young brother had a birthday on May 12th. So a big shout out to Michael and Mwengwe. Happy birthday, guys. I hope this year is better than you imagined. Cheers. So do not forget to follow me on Instagram, like my Facebook page, and of course subscribe to my YouTube channel. This week's video is pretty short. We've been on the go, and I thought this week let's take a chill pill. Let's do a recap of the countries we've visited so far and what countries to look forward to. So behind my background, I have a world map. And I actually so with this map, it's a very neat map. It's actually, you scratch out the country that you visited. So I'll be scratching out the countries that we've talked about, and I have done the privilege, of course, of going way ahead of you guys to scratch out the countries so that this video will be short and sweet. So that must have been February. Rizwana and Shaira actually took us through visiting Zambia. They talked about the Victoria Falls, some tourist attractions that you can, some activities that you can take part of when visiting Zambia, the beautiful food, the beautiful places to visit, the beautiful people, the culture and everything, right? So that was Zambia. So Zambia is right here in Africa. So from Zambia, we took a deep breath, we chilled. We were actually in Zambia for a very long time. That's when we were hit with coronavirus and we started talking about coronavirus, Then now we're back to the travel channel. So from Zambia, we flew over the Atlantic Ocean, and of course that's when we had Stephanie who walked us through the Caribbean. So from Zambia, we went to Cuba. Yes. Cuba, Stephanie was able to share those beautiful pictures of the ocean, the food, the activities, and of course it kept some of us checking for flights to see when we can travel. So that was Cuba, and the next week after, we did not rest. We did not stay long in Cuba. While we were still the memories was sinking in, the pictures, everything was sinking in. We took a quick flight to Dominican Republic. Yes, Cuba is quite close to Dominican Republic, and she talked about different fun things that you can do in the Dominican Republic. She actually talked about different accommodations. She compared Dominican Republic to Cuba, the differences in food, activities. And of course, as I mentioned, Stephanie is our travel ambassador, so she's going to be taking us from Cuba to I don't know when. You will have to watch the show to see where we travel next. But next week we have another ambassador who's going to walk us through visiting their country. You would have to guess on what country we are going to be visiting next. Are we staying in the American region, in Caribbean, or are we going to Europe, or is it Africa, or Australia, or Asia? I don't know, but I hope you have your bags ready because it's going to be a long trip. So, back to the show. So, those are the countries we've talked about so far. And as you can see, we have so many other countries to talk about. And while we're taking a quick chill, and waiting to travel next week, I thought we should just talk about some precautions that some measures that airports are taking and travelers are taking during this time. Yes, people are still traveling. I know most of us are indoors. We think, like life has stopped moving, right? The world is still, things are still happening. This is the new normal and people are just traveling. So some measures that people are taking is, of course, extra masks, and of course hand sanitizers. Those are some of the things that travelers are doing. And for the airports, before I talk about airports, there's some hotels. The hotel industry, of course, has also adjusted in a big way. The hotels, some hotels are empty, and they have given back to the community by actually taking care of the nurses, the doctors, and frontline staff. So thumbs up to the business owners for doing that. Some hotels are actually accommodating the people in the frontline staff, the nurses and doctors, so which is pretty good in giving back to the community. And some hotels, for example, there's an upscale hotel in New York where you're being greeted by a nurse instead of a bellboy or valet parking. So that's a big adjustment in the hotel industry. So those are some initiatives that are happening in the hotel industry. And of course, tourism has been hit in a big way, but I still believe it's going to bounce back very soon because this is the new normal. People will start traveling again, and that's the reason I'm still in the travel industry. So I will take almost maybe 2 minutes talking about the measures that airports are taking. So number one, no fingerprint scans at the lounges. So this is there to make sure that COVID-19, the coronavirus, does not spread. So at airport lounges, those, the sanctuaries where you need your finger scans, or even at a buffet, so that credit cards, anything to do with fingerprint scanning has been disabled because a lot of people touch, and then that's going to spread the virus even more. So that's been disabled. Changes to checking in. A lot of passengers that are traveling, they're being reminded to check in online because some of the kiosks where you actually check in, the machines where you check in, have they're being there's a lot of cleaning up on those machines, those checking in machines, and to also help in preventing the spreading of the virus. So making sure you check in, you check your emails and check in online. Of course, security is not easing up. There's still security at the airports. The only difference is instead of putting your cell phone, your wallet in the containers directly, you can put it in your handbag. That helps with making sure that the virus does not spread. So those are some changes that airports are doing. Flight attendants and gloves. Yes, so many flight attendants and gloves, and no more warm towels in first class. Another change, a lot of cleaning, and of course hand sanitizers everywhere. Of course, and social distancing. That's a lot of changes, but hey, for this girl, I am still traveling the world, as you can see, from Zambia, Cuba, Dominican Republic. I wonder where next. You will have to tune into the next episode next week. Have a beautiful weekend. God bless.